A profound transformation is taking place across Africa, a continent rich in resources and potential, yet historically underutilized and often overlooked in global power dynamics. With China emerging as a dominant force, it is reshaping not only economies but also political alliances, creating new opportunities and challenges for African nations. This is not just about trade, it's a seismic shift in global power, where Africa is poised to play a significant role. The continent is becoming a pivotal player in the New World Order, influencing decisions that reach far beyond its borders. Evidence of this change is visible everywhere, from bustling ports to new railways, and from modern skyscrapers to advanced technology hubs. These developments are transforming the landscape and the lives of millions. While the West hesitates, China offers massive loans and investments, appealing to many African leaders who seek rapid development and economic growth. This influx of capital is creating jobs and fostering innovation. This reorientation is part of a larger global story where countries seek a multipolar world, one where power is distributed more evenly across the globe, reducing the dominance of any single nation or bloc. Traditional institutions like the World Bank are increasingly seen as instruments of Western control, prompting African nations to explore new alliances and partnerships that better align with their aspirations and needs. China's deep engagement in Africa signals the end of unchallenged American dominance as the continent becomes a key battleground for influence in the 21st century. The consequences of this shift will be felt globally, with Africa turning its gaze eastward. This new direction promises to reshape not only the continent's future, but also the global economic and political landscape, heralding a new era of cooperation and competition. The BRICS group, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, has emerged as a powerful force in global politics and economics. Once seen as a loose coalition of emerging economies, BRICS is now attracting the attention of countries far beyond its original members, especially in Africa. The group's annual summits and high-profile meetings have become a stage for new alliances and bold diplomatic moves. This growing engagement illustrates Africa's desire for new global partnerships that go beyond traditional Western alliances. African leaders are increasingly looking for platforms where their voices are heard and their interests respected, and BRICS offers just that. Countries like Algeria, Egypt, and Nigeria see BRICS as more than just an economic club. For them, joining BRICS is a political statement, a declaration of independence from the Western-led order that has dominated global affairs for decades. It's also a chance to shape a new world order that better reflects their aspirations and priorities. For African nations, joining BRICS means unlocking new growth opportunities with partners who understand their unique challenges. These partnerships are built on mutual respect and shared goals, rather than on aid or dependency. China and India in particular offer compelling models of rapid transformation that resonate with African ambitions. Their experiences in lifting millions out of poverty and building modern infrastructure provide valuable lessons for African countries seeking similar progress. BRICS promises a partnership among equals, not a donor-recipient relationship. This approach appeals to African leaders who want to be active participants in shaping their own destinies, rather than passive recipients of foreign aid. The bloc's new development bank provides alternative financing for infrastructure projects, offering African countries new ways to fund roads, railways, and energy projects without the heavy conditions often attached to Western loans. For Africa, BRICS is more than just a club. It's a gateway to a more balanced and inclusive world. By joining forces with BRICS, African nations hope to amplify their voices on the global stage and secure a fairer share of global prosperity. African leaders are actively seeking new alliances to amplify their influence, diversify their partnerships, and ensure their countries are not left behind in the rapidly changing global landscape. This move signals a strategic pivot towards a multipolar future, one where Africa is not just a spectator but a key player in shaping the world's destiny. Africa's pivot towards China is driven by the sheer scale and visibility of Chinese investment in transformative infrastructure projects. Across the continent, Chinese construction crews and engineers are a common sight, working side by side with local teams to reshape skylines and landscapes. These projects are not just about roads and buildings, they represent a new era of partnership and ambition for Africa, with China at the center of this transformation. Chinese companies are constructing massive projects like the Addis Ababa-Djibouti Railway, a modern rail link that has dramatically slashed travel time for goods and people between landlocked Ethiopia and the coast. This railway is more than just steel and tracks. It's a lifeline for trade, connecting markets, reducing costs, and opening up new economic opportunities for millions. The ripple effects are felt in bustling markets, growing cities, and the daily lives of ordinary Africans. Projects like the Karuma hydropower plant in Uganda are providing stable, reliable electricity for the first time to many communities, fueling factories, lighting homes, and boosting industrial growth. With increased power supply, businesses can operate longer hours, schools can stay open after dark, and hospitals can run vital equipment, all contributing to a brighter future. New ports, such as Lamu in Kenya, are creating thousands of jobs and positioning Africa as a vital global trade hub. These modern ports are gateways for exports and imports, attracting international shipping lines and investors, and helping African economies integrate into global supply chains. China's unique financing model, which offers large, long-term loans with fewer political strings attached, is especially appealing to African governments eager to build quickly. These deals often come with technology transfer and training, helping to build local capacity and expertise. While critics warn about rising debt burdens and the risks of dependency, many African leaders and citizens see Chinese investment as a pragmatic solution to decades of underdevelopment and neglect. For them, the benefits, new jobs, better infrastructure, and economic growth, outweigh the concerns. China's focus on tangible infrastructure projects, rather than abstract promises, has generated significant goodwill and deepened economic ties. Communities celebrate the opening of new roads, bridges, and power plants, seeing them as symbols of progress and hope. Every new project, from highways to hospitals, serves as a living advertisement for Chinese partnership, reinforcing the message that China is a reliable and committed ally in Africa's development journey. In a very real sense, China is physically building the foundations for Africa's future development, one project at a time. These structures will shape the continent's growth for generations to come. This hands-on approach stands in stark contrast to the West's focus on lectures about governance and reform. While Western aid often comes with conditions and bureaucracy, China's model delivers visible, tangible results that people can see, touch, and use in their everyday lives. As China's presence in Africa grows, Western influence wanes, perceived as less relevant to Africa's needs. Western engagement focuses on security and democracy, overshadowing economic priorities. China's long-term investment strategy contrasts with the West's fragmented approach. Chinese diplomacy is relentless, with leaders frequently visiting Africa to reinforce partnerships. Western aid often comes with conditions, seen as paternalistic by African governments. African nations increasingly look to China for a partnership that aligns with their goals. The West must rethink its engagement, offering tangible investments to remain relevant. Africa's natural wealth, including critical minerals, is key to the global economy. Resources like cobalt and lithium are essential for green and digital revolutions. China has strategically secured control over these resources, gaining leverage over the global economy. The Democratic Republic of Congo holds a significant portion of the world's cobalt reserves. Chinese companies have invested heavily in mining and processing facilities. This gives China a dominant position across the supply chain. Western nations are scrambling to catch up, facing a decade-long head start by China. Control over these resources is about power, influencing the future economy. Africa's mineral wealth presents opportunities and risks, making partner choices critical. China's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, is a colossal project connecting Asia, Europe, and Africa. In Africa, the BRI ties together Chinese-funded projects into a coherent strategy. The goal is to create trade corridors with China at the center. The BRI creates economic and political dependencies, enhancing China's influence. For African countries, the BRI offers a fast track to modernization. Projects like the Mombasa-Nairobi Railway boost trade and economic activity. The BRI is China's plan for rewriting global economic rules. Africa's infrastructure deficit makes it a natural partner for the BRI. African nations joining the BRI become part of a new, China-centric global order. Africa's shift towards China is about dignity and a desire for respectful partnership. Many African leaders feel the West's relationship is defined by power imbalance. China's approach emphasizes non-interference and mutual respect. Chinese officials focus on economic outcomes, not political ideologies. This approach resonates with African leaders tired of Western lectures. Across the continent, people see tangible results of Chinese investment. While there are concerns about debt and transparency, the psychological impact is profound. African nations now have real options, choosing partners that better serve their interests. The alignment between Africa and BRICS signals a fundamental realignment of global power. BRICS could evolve into a formidable counterweight to Western-led institutions. Africa would be a core component of this new superpower group. Major global decisions would be negotiated in forums with equal African representation. The economic center of gravity is shifting towards the global south. For Africa, this means more opportunities and greater bargaining power. The West faces a diminished influence, competing for Africa's attention. Africa is at the epicenter of global change, embracing a future with China and BRICS.